Welcome to our hands-on review of the Soundstream VR-65XB multimedia head unit. As you can see, the head unit features radio, DVD, MP3, disc reader, Bluetooth, Sirius XM, USB, and audio visual in. Let's start out with the radio. As you can see, the radio features multiple presets. As you can see here, you have FM1, FM2, FM3, so you can have a total of 18 FM presets. And then there's 1, 2 for a total of 6 AM presets. One feature of the VR-65XB that is nice, as you can see streaming across the screen there, is it does use the signal from the radio stations to show you what is playing if your radio station you listen to offers that. In this case, 105.the-X in Pittsburgh does offer that. As you can see, it scrolls through there. It'll tell you 105.9-the-X, home of the Pens. And during Penguins games, it will actually have the... It will have the score of the hockey game come across there, because this station does feature that. And once again, that's if your radio station does offer that function. As you can see, this channel does also. Those are the two main channels I listen to. Across the screen, on the touch screen here, you have mute. You can mute and unmute it using that one there, or the power and mute button there. If you want to adjust the audio settings, you can automatically adjust treble and bass, as well as automatic presets. You have user, rock, pop, classic, flat, or user, which is whatever you have it set as. You press that button there, you can do the balance and fade from front to back and left to right to get the sound you would like. If you would hit the button below that, as I'll show you here, that'll take you back to this screen. If you want to reset it back to 0, you just hit the reset button, or you can push the buttons to adjust it where you want it. That's the radio. Next you have the DVD player, or MP3 if you have your files stored on MP3. That right there, which is part of the touchscreen, is the eject button. Just take your DVD, slide it in like you would a CD player. You'll have your loading screen here, and as soon as the DVD loads, you'll go to the main menu on the movie. As you can see, you have all the functions you want: stop, play, repeat. You can adjust the EQ on the movie if you want the sound to be a little different than what you were listening to with your audio. We'll exit out of that. As you saw, you can also adjust front to back for the movie. As you can see, the VR-65XB does have a very clear screen. So when you're sitting somewhere and you want to watch a movie, you're able to watch it. Now, one thing I do want to show you is, pardon the beeping, when you put the car in the drive, you'll notice it goes warning, enjoy sound only while driving. You can still listen to your movie, but you can't watch it. What you can do, as you can see from the, just like a regular if you're watching it on your TV at home, you can change. You can do where you want to start. Pick scene selection. And I'll hit the home button again. Well, here, let me show you some of the movie. Once it loads, I'll show you the movie is clear. Oh, it's loading. See, it won't let us skip ahead, so we'll have to wait for it to load again. As I said, you can see it loads just like a regular DVD in your home DVD player. I know some of you don't own DVDs, so we will get to the digital features here in a minute. It won't let us skip ahead. Oops, now we're going to fast forward. And go back to regular play. And you can see it does have a very clear picture. So it's very easy to watch the movie. So we're going to go to the Bluetooth function. This is so you can connect your phone to your car via Bluetooth. It does give you your on-screen dialer. Shows you the number. If you want, you can go to your phone book. It shows you all the phone numbers. I'm not going to leave those up. Or you can dial the number in. It's obviously not a real number, but then just hit dial.
Enter the conference pin.
As you can see, that'll give you your movie, or I'm sorry, not your movie, that'll give you your phone number you want to call. Well, you also have your multimedia button right here. It'll give you your fast forward, pause, and back, whether you want to skip or rewind. You have those three buttons there for when you're listening to. You have your phone connected via Bluetooth. You can stream your music over the Bluetooth. It'll work with any of your favorite apps on your phone, whether you use Slack or Amazon Music, Google Play Music, Spotify, any of those. It will, thanks to the A2DP connectivity, it will skip forward. You can even use your phone's built-in media player. Your phone's built-in music player if you want. If you have music saved on your phone instead of streaming music, this will still work as the forward, backward, and reverse. And pause play. Next is the Sirius XM. If you purchase an add-on tuner, you will be able to use Sirius XM radio. We don't have one attached to this device, but as you can see, it still gives you all your options. You can adjust your sound and everything on there, just like the regular radio, only this is satellite radio. Now, USB. This does come with a USB cable. It's permanently attached to the back. You can use as you can see here, a micro or a thumb drive. If you want, you can plug your phone into this. It will charge your phone. It won't stream from your phone, but it will charge your phone if you're not using a USB cable or a thumb drive. So let's get to that now. We have, just unplug it and plug it back in. Show you it'll automatically load. You'll get your loading screen just like your DVD. Comes up with your auto plays your music. You have your options. You can still you can change your EQ, just like you can with the radio and satellite radio or movies. Let's exit out of there and go back. You have all full functioning touchscreen controls there of your music. Now, let's say you have something else saved on there. You want to watch a movie that you have saved on there. What you'll do is you'll hit this, So give you your menu if you want to see pictures or watch video. We do have video, Doctor Strange. It loads. It does take a second to load depending on what format you're using. It will vary on the time for a few seconds. As you can see, the video is only going to show as clear as your video is saved as. If you have a low quality movie saved, it's going to be low quality. I'm sorry, due to our recording equipment that we do have right now, it doesn't show it quite as good on the video that you're watching as it does on the screen, but you can see it is still pretty clear even on this video. If you touch the screen, it'll give you can skip ahead, fast forward, play, adjust your EQ. Sorry. So there you can see that. Then next, what we have is the AV in. If you want to play a game system, depending on what your game system is. Okay, let's go back to the AV here. Well, actually, once this loads, we can click on AV. Now, what we have set up is just a regular DVD player, just to show that it does. It will load. If there was a disc in it that it would read, it would load. You can watch the movie. Quality is just as clear as watching the DVD through here. So if you have kids with you and you have to sit somewhere for a while, you want to bring your Xbox, as long as you can connect it via AV cables. That's the red, white, and yellow cables. You can do that. That's not an issue. You can play it right through here. Now let's go back to the home screen here. As you can see, it says home. It shows you we have no sound right now. Sorry. It shows you we're connected via Bluetooth. There is a thumb drive attached, and there's a DVD in there, or CD, depending on what you have in there, and it gives you the time. So let's go into the setup. Start with the sound. You have your EQ and your balance and fade like normal, or like we showed on all the different videos. You have the beep, whether you want to hear a beep sound when it starts or when you touch the screen. I'm not sure if you can hear that beep or not, but that's the beep. Loudness, it adjusts the audio qualities for if you want the sound to be louder. You can adjust how loud you do want the loud level. It does have two subwoofer outputs. You can turn the subwoofer on or off if you like. Let's scroll down. Then you can adjust the low pass filter at either 100, 20, 160, or 80 or 120, 160, or 80 megahertz. Just hertz, I'm sorry, not megahertz. Let's go back. Little back button up there in the upper corner. And you can adjust how loud you want the subwoofer. Now onto the display. Change how bright you want the backlight to either high, medium, or low. I have had comments that when it's on high, it is quite bright at night, which it honestly is. It's a very bright screen. But during the daytime, I like it on high because it's a lot easier to see. See, LED color. The LED color adjusts these colors over here. As you can see, it's blue right now. Change it to yellow. They have a whole list. You can do auto, where it will rotate through all the colors at a predetermined time frame. Do red, yellow, green, Cambridge blue. It's sort of like a light blue, regular blue, purple, and white. So you can adjust this to match your car's settings. Since we have a GM and most of ours Most of the lights in here are red or white. You can do red to match. I prefer the color blue. So, and you can have it when to go to sleep. I've left it at auto the backlight time for when the backlight turns off. Radio settings. You can adjust what area you're in for Europe, USA, South America, or Russia, depending on where you live. Stereo or mono. You can adjust both of those also. Let's go back now. General. Auto connect, that's for if you want it to auto connect to your Bluetooth. Parental lock, if you want to lock this, so you have to have a password to use the functions. You can set one if you don't want your kids doing certain things. Clock display, you can do on or off. I prefer to have the clock up there. Clock settings, you can set the clock for 12 or 24 hour. Me personally, I prefer 24 hours. And then you can just tap in the time you want to set it at. So it's very easy to adjust and set the time. If you want to reset the radio, you can do that. It'll factory reset the radio. Okay, now we have, just make sure I showed you everything in general. Yep, that's everything there. We have DVD settings. You can set what subtitle language you want, what audio language you want, and the menu language. So that's for your on-screen menu. Have a password set if you need to. You can adjust the ratings. Change the rest of the settings there or restore it to factory. Type. You can have what size dimension screen you want. 16:9 is the wide screen. Or the 4.3 is your normal, like your old square TV. Let's go back. And then system info. This shows you all the information about the radio. Also, what you have a built-in mic for your hands-free calling when you have your phone connected via Bluetooth. And you also have a little reset button. You'll need like a safety pin or a paper clip. You can reset the radio that way. And I don't believe you can see it, but right there is a little electronic eye, because it comes with a full function remote to adjust all the settings, mute, change modes. Let me just show you a couple here. There's the mode button. It'll rotate through all of the options. As you can see, we did the EEPROM reset, so it reset all my radio stations. But as you can see, it is a full functioning remote. You can even, let's see, let me show you this real quick. Bluetooth, you can dial. On your phone, you can dial the number from this to make your phone call, and you can even hit call.
While I try to connect you.
And hang up from this. So that's the main functions of the Soundstream VR-65XB. One thing I do want to bring up is this is one of their base model radios. So one thing I have noticed, if you want to adjust your volume settings, or not the volume settings, but the bass and subwoofer, when you're listening to music through Bluetooth streaming, you have to go out and go into the settings to change it, so it will stop your Bluetooth music while you're adjusting it, so you can't adjust on the go. But other than that, that's the only real downside of this radio. So now we're going to go ahead and show you all the plugs in the back. Once I do show you one more option it does have, it has a built-in backup camera. Well, backup camera, it's not built into it, but it has the ability to have a backup camera if you want to add one to your car. Go ahead and show you here. As you can see, it is going to depend on the quality of your camera you have in the back. So you can see the camera we have does come with the lines to show you how close you are. That'll all depend on the camera you buy. But you can see it automatically goes into the backup camera. The one thing it does, when you're backing up, it will mute your sound from both your music and your phone calls. So if you are in the middle of a phone call, you will not be able to hear the person talking to you right then. Now here we have the back of the VR-65XB from Soundstream. This is where all the audio plugs are at. See here first, you have your antenna adapter to hook your factory radio antenna up to this. And here is the USB plug that we plugged our thumb drive into. You can see also, if our vehicle had steering wheel controls, we would have hooked these up. As you can see, there's multiple plug-ins in the back of this. First over here, you have your camera in. And if you want to have video out to a separate speaker, you do have video out 1 and video out 2. Next to that, as you can see right here, you have your video in. That's where we had the separate DVD player hooked into that you could also hook your gaming system to if you wanted to, and you have left and right channel sound in. Now for the output of video or output of sound, you have your subwoofer outs 1 and 2. And here you have audio out to hook up your amplifier for your highs, your high speakers. You have front right, front left, right rear, left rear. As you can see over here, these are the main 2 plugs. One is for your power connections, the other one is for your audio to your speakers. Does have a built-in fuse in it. It's easy to get to and change if need be. As you can see right here, this plug is for the satellite radio if you choose to buy that add-on. The Soundstream VR-65XB that we've reviewed will run approximately $150, and it's available on multiple online retailers. Thank you for viewing our review, and please stay tuned for our future video reviews.